Hello, what's up everyone? John here with WebDev for you, here to help you build awesome websites without code in Webflow. So today we are going to have a bit of fun with Photoshop, parallax images and effects. But yeah, let me first start with the intro. Welcome everyone. This is my live stream every Monday through Thursday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. where we cover everything Webflow, from layouts, building websites from scratch, creating animations and interactions, and I also provide support. If the support is related to something, to a personal project, then I do ask for a super chat, and we can take a look at your personal project, and I can help with anything related to Webflow and your project. That's just the quick intro. You can also check out webdevforyou.com for templates and free interactions. All right, so hope everyone is doing well. So I'll just cover really quickly while viewers are trickling in. This is what we will be creating today, kind of this parallax hero section where we have this person kind of moving up a bit quicker than the mountains, and the mountains are kind of disappearing in the background a little bit, or moving down a little bit faster. All right, so it's just kind of an interesting parallax effect there. And basically we're still going to recreate this website here. So this is a Figma file, and we're going to recreate this site. The reason that we have a different kind of hero section is because the quality of the images in this Figma file are not very good. So I wanted to find my own images and crop those so that they could be a bit higher quality. So I worked with these images and it just did not look good at all. So I just found some images on Unsplash and used Photoshop to crop them, and that's how we created this parallax effect. This is what we will be recreating today. So let's get started. The first thing we'll do is find these images. So I'll just take you through my thought process on how I did this. So I looked at this website and I saw, okay, there's a sky, there's mountains, and there's a person here on some type of edge or mountain there. So I went on Unsplash and I typed in, I think for the sky I did night sky, and I wanted kind of a darker sky because text just looks better on a darker background. So I looked for like, a universe sky, or like, stars in the sky. And I might have typed in something like night sky mountains, something like this. And this is unsplash.com if you're not familiar. It's a really great website. Then I found this image here by Benjamin Veros. And there's just a sky here and a background image. Hi, Abil. This looks amazing now. And hello, John. Hope you're doing well. Thanks, Abil. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going to quickly showcase how to build this. It's actually just takes a few steps. But the hardest part, I guess, would be cropping the image in Photoshop. So I found this image and I just downloaded it. You can download it for free from unsplash.com. Hey, Manuel. Hope you had a good dinner yesterday. We're going to be building this parallax effect here with the night sky and this person kind of moving kind of faster. So this person is closer, so he's moving faster than the mountains here. And we could probably move the background, but actually we'll try that. We'll see how we do with that. So I downloaded this image and then I just typed in person on a mountain, and there's a few images here, and I settled on the one we just saw. See if I can find it again. Person on a mountain. We could even have done this. I like the one I picked because he's more to the right. That way it doesn't interfere with the text. Night sky. Let's try this. If I can't find it, I'll just show you the image that I downloaded. but yeah, person or mountains. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Where did that go? Did I minimize it? Oh yeah, I did. Okay. How's everyone doing? Cool. Yeah, person and mountains. I might not be able to find it now. Sometimes I don't realize like what I typed in before. Okay, so anyways, and I could even use something like this, right? Like this would be cool. I could use that. And yeah, so let's go ahead and start cropping the images. You know, I could even use this one would be cool actually. Let's download this one. So we'll do a bit of a different one on this one. And yeah, so I downloaded those two images. So I'll go ahead and into my downloads folder. And so we have this image here. Let me view it as icons. So I'll go ahead and open it with Photoshop. That's my dog trying to get inside of my door. So, yeah. All right, so we have the image here. It's in Photoshop. And let me see if I can expand Photoshop here or make it a bit larger. All right, so it's in Photoshop, and basically what we want to do is select everything besides the sky. So I'll go ahead and create a new layer here in Photoshop. So I'll just click this plus button. If you're not familiar with Photoshop, there's a lot of great tutorials online. Nice. Hey, Grand Torfactor, welcome. I'm not sure if you've been to a live chat before. Yep, I do these every Monday through Thursday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central. And I cover everything Webflow, interactions, layouts, website builds. And if you need support with your site, just feel free to drop me a super chat and I can take a look at your site or build something that's requested. You know, if you have a specific thing you want to build in Webflow and it's specific to your project, just, you know, feel free to drop a super chat and I'll be happy to rebuild it in the live stream. All right. So Abel wrote, John, I will be watching while I'm building a website for my client Webflow. Really don't want to miss these valuable streams. For sure. Yeah. No worries, Abel. Cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and crop these mountains. So there's a few ways to quickly crop in Photoshop. I mean, Photoshop is such a powerful tool. If we just want to crop these mountains, we can actually go to select and we could say select focus area, or we could say select subject. Let's try select subject. First we have to select the background and we go to select subject and let's see if it selects the mountains. So it didn't quite select the mountains. It selected some of it. So I'm going to deselect that and we'll try select focus area. And we'll see how this works. For sure. Yeah, we cover a lot of fun builds in these live streams. So welcome. So yeah, focus area didn't quite work. So I'll just go ahead and go to this little tool here and select the quick selection tool. And I'll select it here. And then I'll just click, hold, and drag and just try to select all the mountains. Because there's pretty good contrast between the mountains and the sky, it makes it easy for us to select just this area. So that was pretty good. I could see that I could kind of zoom in and select that there. I mean, Photoshop is just an amazing tool. So yeah, that looks pretty good. So I've selected just the mountains. I'm happy with that. So I'll hit Command C to copy. Today's a good day. Finally managed to build an audio player for a Webflow project, so I'm happy. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Did you use, what's it called? Plier? I know Plier is a good one, but there's many different audio players out there. So yeah, we selected the mountains, so I copied. Then I'll go to this layer 1 that I created and paste. And now we just have the mountains. Awesome. So now I'll create a new layer. And then for the background, I'll hit Command and click layer 1 to select it. And then I can go to this background here. And all I have to do for this selection is go to select and say inverse. And now we have the sky selected. And again, I'm on the background image here. So we're going to copy the sky portion from this background image, go to layer 2 and paste. So now if I hide the mountains or this background image, we have the sky and the mountains. They're separated. Pretty easy. Nice. So now I can, I can export. I can right click on the layers, right click, say quick export as PNG. And I have a folder on my desktop, and I'll call this mountain. Oh, this is night sky 2. And this will be quick export as PNG. This will be mountains 2, because I've already saved mountains 1. So mountains 2. And let's open up this other image that we downloaded. Hopefully it's here. Let me go into Unsplash. So we're going to use this one here. So I'll download it. Can you share that, Manuel? Look how it works and looks. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to create some like a similar parallax feature here, or effect. All right. So I downloaded that image. Where is it? Here it is. So I did download it initially. Open with Photoshop, and here we have the image. So again, I'm going to do what I did before. I'm just going to select, or let's try select subject here. I think this will work. Yep, perfect. Because this area is kind of blurred out a little bit. And then I'll just go in here and just add this and that. And we'll zoom in, make sure we got everything. That looks pretty good. There's this stick here that we're capturing. So maybe I'll just do that. Yeah, there we go. And let's get these rocks in here. I'm just grabbing those. Something like that. Yeah, it looks good. Cool. All right, so we have this section selected. So I'll hit Command C, create a new layer, and just paste in there. Perfect. So now we have this image, and looks good. And we could probably, smooth it out, or that looks pretty good. I don't think we need to. Photoshop has, like, when you have something selected, so I'll hit Command and select this layer. You can actually go to, I think, modify, and then select smooth, and you can smooth out the selection, so it's a bit smoother. So I can try like 3 pixels. Apply and click OK, and then let me just see if there's a big difference here. Not that I can tell. I'm going to go ahead and go with this first one. So I'm going to right click, quick export as PNG. I will make this project public in the Webflow showcase. Then you can see it in Webflow. Awesome. Thanks, Manuel. Yes, for sure. Hey, Amkar, how's it going? And Abil, hopefully you got my email yesterday that I sent with the mouse scroll animation. All right, so I'll save this. Sorry about the dog in the background. He's acting up a little bit. So I'll say person on rocks for this. All right, cool. So we have our images. Let's go ahead and check them out. So we have person on the rock. Look, that looks really good. And then we have the sky. Yeah, so we have everything we need. So I'll go ahead into Webflow. Let me create a new page actually, or I'll just start a new project actually. Start a new project, and we'll select this one. All right. So here in the new project, I'll create a section. And for the height of the section, I'm going to set it to 150 VH, because essentially, like, we're going to start the individual person lower, and we want that scroll action to come in. All right. And let's see. So within the section, I'm going to actually, let's see how I want to do this. Yeah, I'm gonna add them as background images because this is more of a decoration rather than actual images that uh, kind of, yeah, it's more of a decoration piece. So I don't want to add them as images. I'm gonna add them as background images. So I'm gonna add a div block, and I'm gonna say parallax image 1, and I'm gonna set the height to 100 VH. And let me go ahead and add those images that we just cropped in Photoshop. So it's this one, and this one. I'm just gonna, oh, they need to be compressed and resized as well. So I'm gonna just open with preview. And I know if you've seen this in my previous videos, I kind of go over this. I like going over it because it is an important piece of website building. Far too many times I've seen users with really large images, and that can just slow down the load time of a site. Hey Joseph, how's it going? I did get your email, so I'll be looking out for any new emails there. So I'm just gonna resize these right now. So I'm gonna adjust size. For these, I'm gonna make them a little bit larger, so 2880, and then click OK, and then save. All right, they're still gonna be too big in size. So like right now, yeah, 4.3 megabytes. That's too big. 6.3 megabytes. And 3 megabytes, so definitely too large. And actually, let me try resizing them one more time. So let's do 1920 in width. So tools, adjust size, we'll say 1920, and then save. All right, now let's take a look at the size. So this one's 2 megabytes. This one is 2.8 megabytes, and this one is 1.6. So normally I like to keep my images around 300 kilobytes, but since this is like a hero image decoration, I'm okay if it gets a little bit larger. I'm just gonna run them through compresspng.com and then download it, and then we'll use those compressed images. All right, so 63%, that's good. 77, awesome. And 53%, so I'll download all. And let's show in Finder. Oops. Okay, cool. So let me just try that one more time. I think I opened it too soon. All right, there we go. And then I'll go back into Webflow and just drag and drop. So now, yeah, 743. So they're a bit larger than 300, but again, they're hero like images for like a specific design, so I don't mind if they're a little bit larger. So this is parallax image 1. I'm gonna set the background to that night sky. So we'll choose the image. I'll select the night sky. I'll say cover and position it to the top there, the top center. That looks good. And then I will add another div block, and we'll say for this we'll say parallax image 2, and we will set the height to 100 VH. We'll add the image of the mountains, set it to cover, and position it at the bottom. All right, so we can't see the image, so let me change the position. Oh yeah, I have to set these to absolute. So both parallax image 1 has to be a position of absolute, and parallax image 2 has to be a position of absolute. And the section, oh, I called the body section, my bad. So we have to add a section and give this section, give it the class name section. It's 150 VH, and I'll put both of these images in this section. All right, so parallax image 1. Yeah, we'll set it to the top. And parallax image 2, we'll also set it to the top. And let's set the, to the bottom. That looks good. And we'll just have to move this down. So we'll move it down to about here. Let me try setting it to contain rather than cover. Contain. Yeah, we don't want it to repeat. And then for the night sky, I'm going to set it to contain as well. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so we have it set to contained, and let me just move it here, and boom. Okay, perfect. So we have the night sky, we have the mountains, and I can move the mountains up a little bit higher, something like this. And then we'll add the third image. So I'll add a div block, and I'll call this parallax image 3. And we will set the height to 100 VH and the position absolute. And I'm going to position it in the bottom right and give it the background image of this person here, and put it in the bottom left. And let's see, bottom left. Yeah, I have to set a specific height or width here. So let's see. Absolute. Let me try giving it a higher Z index. Where did it go? Person on rocks. Oh, contain. Set it to contain. Not to repeat. Yeah, we have to move it down. So parallax image 3. And it should appear at the bottom here. So section. Oh yeah, let's set the position to relative. And parallax image 1, 2. And we'll set a Z index. So I'll set 1 for this, 2 for this, and 3. Do I have to set a width? I don't know why I would have to. Yeah, I guess I have to set a width there. That was interesting. Oh, I see why. Okay. Yeah. So if I set it to the bottom, then I wouldn't have to set a width. So absolute bottom. And then I can just resize this image, right? Because it's a little bit too big. So I'm going to say 50%. Something like this. And that looks pretty good. And so contain. Right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to set these to cover actually. So initially on this one, I added, or on the first, these are actual just images, which might be the way to go. I might do it that way actually. Let me look at the responsiveness here. Yeah, let's just do images. So we have at the bottom. See if I set it to cover. Yeah, no, it needs to be contained. All right, so I'm just trying to see if I can do it this way with the background images. I'm sure it's like the same, but yeah, we could do something like this. No, not quite. Here, I'm just experimenting a little bit. So let's see. Let's set this to cover. Let's set this to cover as well. And let me see something here. And we'll set this to, this one needs to be contained. Yeah, I'm going to go with how I did it initially. Let me delete all of these. And we'll just add them as images. So in the section, we'll add an image. We'll select the night sky. Perfect. And we'll set it to cover. Okay, for the fit cover. And we'll call this parallax image 1. And we'll set it to absolute. Or this is going to be fixed for this top one, fixed and top. and we'll set the height to 100 VH, and yeah, set it to cover. All right, and then we'll add another image. Choose image. Yeah, we got the mountains, and I'll call this parallax image 2. And again, we'll set the height to 100 VH, and set it to cover, and we'll set the position to absolute, and bottom. Okay. All right, that looks pretty good. And okay, so I think this would need to be, no, it should be set to cover. Yeah, just bear with me 1 second. Section 150. Oh, okay, I see. And this, no, this would have to be aligned to the top. Okay, yeah. All right, got it. And let's see if I move this down. Okay, I'm gonna have to reference the last one I did. Sorry. Let's see here. Where'd it go? You get to see my dashboard here. Yeah, it's this one here. That's just the projects I showcase on my YouTube channel. So, all right, cool. So let me see what I did here. So we have this section, parallax, it's fixed, and oh, the max width. Do I have a max width here? Yeah, I do. And the min height is 100 VH. So that could be the difference. 100 VH. Let's see. Okay, I think that's it. So rather than an explicit height, we're going to set a min height of 100 VH. And let's see for the sky. Yeah, it's also fixed. Okay. And it's set to cover. Okay, so parallax image 2 is set to fixed. And I moved it down 23%. All right. Okay, cool. And then we added parallax image 3. All right, and I'll choose the image, and we'll select this image here, and we'll call this parallax image 3, and we'll set the Z index to, let's set the position to absolute. All right, and for this, what did I do? Yeah, I set it to 50%, and we'll place it in the bottom left, and I'll set the width to 50%. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, cool. Yeah, that stick is a little bit random there. There's this like little stick on the mountain, but that's all right. So yeah, basically what we did after a few minutes of me messing around, we added the images. We have the parallax image, it's set to cover and fixed to the top. Then we have parallax image 2, it's set to fixed, set to fixed and to the top as well, and we just moved it down 23%. And then we added parallax image 3, and we placed it in the bottom left, set it to absolute, and placed it in the bottom left. All right, so now we can add another section, and I'm gonna call this content section. And we'll call this hero section, actually. We'll just say hero section. And what we'll do for this content section, we're going to give it, for now, we're going to give it a height of 100, or a min height of 100 VH. And we're going to give it a background color of black. And we're going to set the position to relative. Okay, so we have this section underneath. So as we scroll, the user comes in. So already it's looking pretty good. There is a few things that I want to do. Um, yeah, and actually, a night sky doesn't really work here, so I might switch this up with a regular blue sky. I think a blue sky would look kind of cool instead of a night sky for this for some reason. So we might kind of edit this. But yeah, so basically we're almost there, and I'm just wondering, I could have done it with background images too, and I might cover that because these are decoration images. They're not like, images that are like, if you are on a screen reader, you wouldn't need to see this parallax effect, so you wouldn't need to necessarily know what these images are about. Anyways, I digress a little bit, and let me continue here. So in the content section, right in here, I'm going to add a div block, and I'm going to call this gradient hero gradient. And I'm going to give it a height of 300 pixels, and then I'm going to give it a gradient. So I'll give it a gradient here, right over here. I'm going to set this bottom here to transparent, and we'll set this one to black actually, and then I'll just flip them. Okay, so the black is on the bottom and the gradient is at the top, and then we'll just give this gradient a negative margin of negative 300. And let's see why that gradient didn't work. Let me flip this. Do we have a background? Let's see, linear gradient. Why isn't this gradient working? Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. Let me delete this. And why is it black? Well, that's interesting. Oh, did I move the hero gradient? Yeah, my bad. No, wait. Let me undo that. Okay, so we have the hero gradient. I'm going to set it to a position of absolute and top. And now I think I can move it without affecting, yeah, there we go, without affecting the bottom here. So we have to set it to a position of absolute. And we can see that this linear gradient got applied. So we can see it's darker here at the bottom and lighter here at the top. And that just gives us like a nice little effect that leads into the site. So yeah. That looks good. And yeah, I'm liking that. So let's go into Unsplash and just get a sky that's not like a dark, like a night sky. So I'll go to unsplash.com and we'll just type in sky. And ideally I would want kind of a darker sky, or like a sky that's not too, maybe this one. This one looks cool. There's some good ones here. So this is more of like a Photoshop lesson today. Yeah, let me try this one. This one looks kind of cool. So let me show in Finder. And let me open this. Oh, and it's already small enough. It's 271 kilobytes. So I'll go ahead and drag and drop into Webflow. Right in here. And then we'll just replace this image. Yeah, that feels a little bit better. Yeah. All right. But yeah, if you wanted to replace the images, you could. I'm not crazy about this yet. Let me just try one more sky. Let me just type in dark sky. No, not quite. Because I don't want a night sky, but I don't want like a super bright sky. So let me just type in sky. Yeah, let's try this first one. Okay, I won't spend too much time picking skies here. All right, the size is not bad. I'm just gonna go ahead and drag and drop into Webflow. There we go. we'll replace. Okay, I think that'll work. Yeah, it's not bad. That's all right. Still not crazy about it, but we're gonna go with it. Okay, so far so good. The last thing we need to do is just move these mountains down as the user is coming up to create like the idea that the user is moving faster than the mountains. So we just have to go into interactions, go to page trigger, and say while page is scrolling, play scroll animation. We'll start a new animation, and I'll call this mountains moving, something like this. And I'll select the mountains. We'll say move. We'll start it at 0, and then we'll move it down maybe 75 pixels. So as we're moving up, the mountains are moving down. And that's it. So that's how we created the effect. Pretty kind of straightforward. And yeah, kind of gives us that interesting visual. And then we can head into the site. All right. So yeah, that's how we built the animation. I might make the mountains move a little bit more, so maybe like 100 pixels down as we're moving. And yeah, this is just one way to create parallax effect. I mean, there's so many different ways you could do it, but yeah, this is pretty fun way to do it. Yeah, cool. So let's go ahead and add the heading. Let's get into the website build after like, you know, kind of dealing with that for quite some time. So yeah, and this sky is darker here. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. All right, so this is a hiking guide. Be prepared for the mountains and beyond. So let's see. A hiking guide, be prepared. Okay, so let's see. Yeah. So I'm going to, let me just add this heading here first. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really feeling the contrast here with some of these elements, but that's all right. Yeah, thanks, Manuel. Appreciate it. So we have the mountains, we have that. I'm just trying to think of how I want to structure this now. Yeah, so I would need, let's see, this hero section. Wow, this is interesting. So I think this hero section actually needs to be a position of absolute and full. And let's try to bring it to the front. Okay, yeah. Or actually, no, scratch that, okay. Yeah, no, okay, I think I got it. So not fixed. It can still be relative, but in here I'm gonna add another div block, and I'm gonna call this hero content. And this I'm gonna set to a position of absolute and a min height of 100 VH and a width of 100%. Okay, so in here I'm gonna set this to a flex of center, and then we're gonna add this heading here. So be prepared. So we have this top here. Then we have this, be prepared for the mountains and beyond, and then this says scroll down. So I'm gonna add 3 div blocks. So I'll add a div block in here, and we'll call this hero heading wrapper, and then we'll add a div block, and this will be horizontal line. No, This will be hero heading top. And then we'll add another div block. This will be hero heading middle. And then we'll add another div block. And this will be hero heading bottom. And then for the hero content, we'll set it to vertical for the flex setting. And then I'll go ahead and add the large heading first. So be prepared for the mountains and beyond. Let me see if I can find a Google font alternative to Chronicle display. So Google font alternative to Chronicle display. Let's see. Closest match. Yeah, he has a guide. Maybe Bentham. What's this? Playfair display is probably it. Ooh, this is nice. This is Bentham. Let's check out Playfair display. Oh, yeah, nothing's really touching Playfair display. That's a great font. And I think it's already added here. Nope, we have to go and add it. So cool. Any questions, anyone, so far? I know I've covered quite a bit, going back and forth there with that hero effect. Playfair display. We'll go ahead and add all these, add font. I'll go into the designer. And we'll add a H1 heading. And I'll go ahead and style the global H1 tag. We'll set it to Playfair display. We'll set the color to white. And we'll make the font. Let's set it to, I mentioned I was going to start using M's. So let's set it to, what's 16 times 4? 64. So let's set it to 4 M's. Maybe 4.5 M's. Or let's try 6 M's. 5 M's looks good. All right. And then we'll set the height to unitless. So it's like 100%. All right, cool. So there we have the font. And be prepared for the mountain. Okay. Be prepared. Is it capital case? Be prepared for the mountains and beyond. Be prepared for the mountains, all capital. For the mountains and beyond. All right, and then for this heading, I'm going to call it hero heading. And we'll give it a width of 40 ch. Let's try that. Or 30 ch. Let's do 20 ch. Okay, 20 ch. And we'll set the line height to maybe 1.2. Yeah, it looks good. Be prepared for the mountains and beyond. I'm liking that. Let me try to change the thickness of this, so maybe medium. Whoa, what happened? Something like this. And then for this top section, we're going to have this line here and have it say a hiking guide. So I'll add a div block and we'll call this top line heading top, or yeah, I'll just say top line, and we'll give it a height of 3 pixels and a width of, let's say 50. Yeah, 50 looks good, maybe 60. And we'll get the color from Figma. So let's look at this accent color. And what is the accent color? Edit style. Okay, it's right here. I'm going to copy it. Go back into Webflow. Let me move this over here. And there we go. So we have that top line. That looks good. And it's a bit thinner. And then I'll add that text block that says a hiking guide. And so for the hero content, I wanted to position it to the left. Or actually not the left. Hero content, hero heading wrapper. hero heading top. Oh, okay, hero. So that's what I need to come in here. There we go. Okay, that's better. Okay, hero heading top, and then I'll add a text block. And let's set this to flex and center. Okay, we have the text block, and we'll say top text. And we'll say a hiking guide. A hiking guide. I'm going to use DM Sans for this because I like that font. Yeah, hopefully everyone's still with me. I kind of went introspective on this build. But hopefully you're catching some things that I'm doing. Again, if you have any questions while I'm building, just let me know. I'm going a little bit quick and just going through the build. Alright, so the font, I'm going to say DM Sans. I'm going to say medium. Change the color to yellow and give it some letter spacing. Okay, and then give it some margin from the left, maybe 20. And I'm going to set this line, this top line, to 2 pixels in height rather than 3. And boom, that's looking good. So as I scroll, wow, that's not bad. Yeah, some of the colors I'm not a fan of, but we'll make do. Okay, and then the bottom piece, scroll down with an arrow. So I'll add a text block. I'll type in scroll down text. We'll set this to DM Sans, set the color to white, and we'll just say scroll down. I'll set a capital. I like a capital here, but more than scroll down, more than lowercase. We'll add some margin to the top, maybe like 20. And then let me grab this arrow here from Figma. If I can grab it. If it lets me grab it. A hiking guide, rectangle. Let's see if I can find it here. Yep, here it is. Icon. I'm just going to export it as SVG because it does look like an SVG image. Yep. Export down arrow. And yeah. So let me go into the assets. And did it download? They added. Where'd it go? Oh, it exported as a zip file. That's strange. Okay. Right in here. Okay, we have the arrow, so I'm just going to go in here and into the hero heading and add, we'll just say an image, and I'll choose that arrow, and then we'll set the hero heading bottom to flex, and we'll do top, actually, let's do bottom. Yeah, bottom looks better. Or yeah, let's do center. No. Why isn't that working well? So scroll down text. Oh, because we added margin to the scroll down text rather than the hero bottom. There we go. And let me look at the design. Okay. So I'll just give this, I'll say arrow, say down arrow. And we'll give this 20 pixels from the left of margin. All right, so that looks pretty good. I'm going to actually add more margin to this, maybe 40. And I'm happy with that. So be prepared for the mountains and beyond. And we have this interesting parallax effect that will take us right into the site. All right, cool. So let me publish it. It's going to look smoother when I publish it. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. All right. So yeah, there's a few things about this build. I mean, it's so far so good. You're getting the idea of like the effect that I'm going for. But as far as the images, I'm not a huge fan. First off, I think these white mountains are throwing me off because the text is white, the mountains are white, the sky is a little bit too light, and also this image here is a bit too grainy. Like, or the rocks give me like this really hard effect rather than mountains. It's more of like a really solid effect. So I'm not a huge fan of, of some of the image choices here. So after the stream, I might just look for a few other images and we might replace a few of these. But yeah, this was a fun build. I mean, I showed Photoshop quite a bit, how to crop in Photoshop. We cropped quite a few things in Photoshop here. Oh, this is a cool one. It's kind of, that sky is a little bit, actually that's a pretty cool sky. Let's just try that real quick. Why not? It's very detailed actually. So let me try to select the focus area, see if that helps, or let me select the subject. This one might be harder to select because there's so much going on. Yeah, that doesn't quite do it. No, I would just, you know what I would do here? Just go like this, and then just delete, or just inverse, copy, and then just grab the sky. So all we have is the sky, and you know what? Yeah, I would just do something like this. So I would select all, copy, create a new artboard, and just paste. So we just have the sky there. And then I would export this as a JPEG. So save for web. And let me see what the size of this is. Too large, so let's do 1920. See what the size is now. I'm going to save it as a JPEG. Okay, and we'll do JPEG medium. Yeah, let's try that. And I'll just save it to the mountain images. And we'll call this night sky dark. Okay. All right, this will be the last thing. I just want to see if we can get something interesting for the night sky. Let's try the few ones that we added. I don't like that one. Definitely don't like that one. And this image might be too large, but that's all right. We'll compress it if it is. No, that's even worse. Don't like that at all. Okay, we'll come back to this. The blue sky, I guess, is all right for now. Cool. So yeah, I think that'll be it for this live stream. Tomorrow we'll start building out these different sections, and the color actually is, the background here is, let's see what the background is. It's not actually black, so let me go ahead and adjust that here. So we'll change this on the content section. Nope, that's not it. Let's see, background, edit style, it's this right here. And the gradient. Oh, actually changing that black made a little bit of a difference. All right, so yeah, I'll end the stream here. So far so good. And yeah, let me look at some other mountains too, because maybe those mountains are throwing me off. So yeah, Yeah, no, those mountains are pretty good. Yeah. So any questions so far, anyone? Or if you want to share kind of your experiences in Webflow, we can start a little discussion before the live chat ends. But pretty fun build today. Pretty fun. Not bad, not bad. Oh, this would be cool to create a parallax effect with this. Oh, this would be so dope. Imagine that. So you have these huge mountains and then like this. Ooh. Ooh. Let me try this real quick. Hold on. Just for fun. And show in Finder. Open with Photoshop. And let's try. Oh, that'd be so interesting. Like you could. Oh, wait. I'm getting excited about this one. Hold on. It might not work too well because you can see that it's in portrait mode rather than landscape. So I don't know if that's going to give us the full effect. But let's try to select the subject. See if that does it. No. That grabbed the mountains. So let me try using the selection tool. And we'll just grab all of this. Thanks, Manuel. Appreciate it. And we'll grab. So if you hold down Option on your Mac, you can unselect different areas. So let me change the width of the size of my selection tool. And we'll do something like this. Wait a sec, yeah, this would have to be, okay. I love how Photoshop gives you like a lot of margin for error as far as the selection tool. Like you don't have to be perfect because like, I guess it has like really smart detection. Photoshop has like super smart detection as far as like selecting different things. Yeah, let's see. To get pretty detailed in here. Yeah, actually it doesn't matter if this is perfect or not. So I'm just gonna like select around. I'm not too concerned if this is perfect. Okay. All right. Because we can just move it up a little bit because the clouds are still going to be the same kind of color here. Okay, so I'm going to copy this and I'll need to watch the replay. Looks great. Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of what I covered today is like Photoshop stuff, but that's still pretty fun. Select inverse and yeah, this is gonna be cool. And copy and paste. Copy and paste. Okay. All right, so we have that. So I'm just going to, so this little bit right here, that's that. I'm going to use the, what's it called? The clone tool. tool or the eyedropper color sampler tool. Is it this? No, it's if anyone knows, yeah, the clone stamp tool. So cannot clone because the area clone has not been defined. Okay, so option click. Yeah, there we go. Let me do option click here. What the heck is that point there? All right. We're just cleaning that up. And I'll go ahead and should be okay. Yeah, that should be good. All right, so let me export these. Quick export as and I probably won't use this for the site, but this is just to see what kind of effect we can build. So mountains 3 PNG, and then we'll right click, quick export as grass or something like that. Okay, we'll go into Webflow. Wait, what did it say? Cannot export. Oh no, it exported. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So these are probably huge, like really large. Oh my god, 10.4 megabytes. So let me open with preview. And tools, adjust size. We're gonna say 1920. Save that. And for this one, we're gonna say tools, adjust size, 1920. All right. And then I'm gonna go into compress PNG and just refresh here. And we'll just drag and drop those in here. All right. This will be the last thing I do today, but we're just having fun with these parallax, this parallax effect. So parallax, let's look at the definition of parallax. That's, I know there's more of a science to it. Parallax is a displacement or difference in the apparent position of an object viewed along two different lines of sight and is measured by the angle or semi-angle of inclination between these two lines. All right, so that's probably more in depth than we want to get with this idea, but yeah, I think it has to do with like, yeah, foreground. Yeah, as things move, you can give I guess it's a visual illusion of things moving, because it's still on the same plane, but they're just given the, like, by the speed, it gives the illusion of depth and that they're in different spaces. All right, cool. So did it work? Yeah. So download all. Yep. And let's go to downloads. I'm just gonna create a new page here in Webflow. And let's do them as background images, because I did want to showcase that. So we'll call this section 2. Nope. We'll add a section. Call this section 2. Give it a min height of 150 VH. And we'll add a div block. We'll set the position, or call this parallax mountains, and we'll add those images in here. So these are still pretty large, but we'll work with it. Okay, and then parallax mountains, so the min height is going to be 100 VH. Actually, not the min height, we're just going to set it exactly to 100 VH. And we're going to add it as a background image. So before I was working with images, so this time I'm going to use background images. So I'll say select this one, set it to cover, and position it at the bottom. Let me try contain and not. Yeah, this is where it might not work because, yeah, we'll try that. That doesn't look bad. Let's try centered. No, it's gonna have to be more at the bottom. Yeah, because the image was portrait, this effect might not work as well. But let's continue. I'll add another div block and we'll say grass image, and we'll also set this to 100 VH in a position of absolute. So this first parallax mountain I want to set to fixed, so it stays at the top. We'll say fixed and top. And then for the grass image is absolute. And we'll choose a background image. Select the grass image there. And we'll position it at the bottom and say cover. And yeah, let's do bottom like this. Okay. And then we'll move it down. Like so. Show as we scroll. Yeah, you get the idea. It's not going to work too well with this image because it's in portrait mode. And actually that does look bad with the person just standing there because I didn't crop it perfectly. And for some reason it gets cropped out here. All right. That was just an experiment. Just wanted to see how that looked. Good evening. Hey Craig, how's it going? We're just about finished here. Yeah, this doesn't look quite right because again, the dimensions are just not great. So just a quick experiment, but that also showcases that we can do it with background images. Like this first effect here can be done with background images rather than straight up images. You know, it would be the same idea because for these images, we actually set the fit to fill, which is, I think it's the same. No, we set it to cover for the images, which is the same as background cover for background images, which I would have rather done than dropping just images because these images are being used for decoration, not necessarily for like a utility on the website. It's just more of a decorative effect here. So that's just a rule of thumb I like to go by. Like if an image is being used for decoration, then adding it as a background is fine because it doesn't need alternate text for screen readers. Like if the image doesn't show on a particular device and it's an important image, then you want to add it as an image because then you can add alternate text. And I can still do it for these images here. I can go in and say, let me see, show all settings. And so alt text, I can say, you know, go into the assets panel and just give it some alt text. In here, I can say, you know, image of the sky. And then on devices that don't show images, it would say image of the sky. But again, like it's just decoration. So, you know, in cases where it's like these images here, then we want to use actual images because these describe something in particular that pertains to the website. So you could say like a hiking trail, or this you could say specific mountains, or this you could say another type of mountains, or like a map. All right, hopefully that was clear. Webflow does have a lot of content on alternate text. Is it alternative or alternate text? Alt text. Yeah, we'll just call it alt text. All right, so yeah, that's the end of the stream. Kind of, yeah, I was a bit more quiet, I would say, throughout the stream because I was building and trying to figure things out. But overall, we did do some cool stuff. You know, created this parallax mountain effect. And tomorrow we'll just add this. Adding this content is going to take probably half an hour or less. Because once we create one card, we just have to duplicate it 3 times and then just switch some of the positioning here. And that's it. But it makes for a really cool site actually, because I do like that effect where like we start off with a really nice image, a really nice effect, and then we go into some nice content on the site. Cool. All right, so that's it for this stream. I'll give a few minutes if there's any questions, comments, suggestions, any of that cool stuff. Again, I do these live streams Monday through Thursday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Please spread the word. Tell everyone you know who uses Webflow about my live stream, so we can get more users coming into the stream and we can all learn Webflow together. And yeah, so if you haven't checked out my site, it's webdevforyou.com. I have templates in the Webflow marketplace. I'll be adding a few more templates shortly. I have interactions. These are all free. This is my latest one, where I created like this little X when you clicked here. Just very simple. But I have over 150 of these interactions. And yeah, I like this one. This one's pretty cool. Wait, let's not open it in Webflow. This one is just like a really, some of my animations are a bit out there. Like the utility isn't always there, but I like to showcase what's possible with Webflow. Yeah, this one's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that one. And yeah, so I'm just going through some of my interactions. These are all free, clonable. You know, just make sure when you clone it that you're not, that you're just cloning what you need. So for a lot of these clonable projects, let's use this one for example. I'll open it in Webflow, and let's go to the navigator. So for all of my clonable projects, you don't need to clone the nav bar or some of the, you know, this bottom section you don't need to clone. You can just copy and paste the menu wrapper, and then you would want to copy this button too, so this open button. So with my interactions, the elements that you want to copy, I put a number in front of them so that you know which elements to copy and which to leave out. But these, you know, like the menu up here, I just put it so that people know more about my website, and yeah, I can check out different things on my site. All right, so this one's pretty cool as well. Yeah, thank you, Craig. Appreciate it. Yeah, this one was a lot of fun. This one is actually a Lottie animation. All right, so yeah, I won't go over too many more things. Then I have a few resources: Webflow, Envato Elements, Learn UI Design, my YouTube channel. Yeah, I highly recommend Learn UI Design. Like if you're just getting into web development, Learn UI Design is, I would say, an essential course, because too often I find web developers, you know, they get excited about the idea that they can quickly build a site, that they forget that a site actually needs design functionality and design elements, and it needs to be cohesive and consistent. The design needs to be consistent in order to have a good effect on the user. So yeah, highly recommend this course. You know, we can go into it. It's by, I know his name. Yeah, so forget his name. What? His name is somewhere here. I'm part of his Slack group, so yeah. Erik Kennedy, that's it. Erik Kennedy. Yeah. So just go through it, read it. If you find that, you know, it would be a good course for you, I highly recommend it. I've taken it myself. I just have the last section to finish, which is the responsive section, but I kind of feel I have a good grasp on that working with Webflow so much, but it's definitely a good thing to finish. But we'll just go through, like he talks about, you know, introductory topics, the fundamentals, alignment, spacing, consistency, sizing, simplicity, lighting and shadows. He goes over color in depth. which is super important, like color contrast, picking primary colors and secondary colors, dark interfaces, gradients. He goes a lot over typography, which is really awesome. And he goes over user interface components like icons and images, lists and tables, and chart and data visualization. And then he goes over digital platforms and paradigms, and then communication design. So yeah, highly recommend it. Let me send you the link here. I'm an affiliate, so I'll send you my affiliate link here. And yeah. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today's stream. So far so good. I'm gonna try not to let the design like, stifle the continuation of this build. But if I find any other images that I like, we might replace some of this tomorrow. Just because I think it's such a cool effect, why not have like the best images? And it's not bad. I'm looking at it here and it looks pretty good. But I feel there could be more contrast between the sky, the mountains, and just a little bit more color variation between all these elements to make them pop a little bit more. And I might smooth out some of the cropping that I did in Photoshop, because the cropping is okay, but it's not perfect. I guess I'm being a perfectionist here. All right, so if there's no other questions, I'll give another minute. If there's no other questions, we'll end the live stream, and I will be here tomorrow. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of the evening. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central Time, and we'll continue building in Webflow. Thank you. Have a good rest of the day or evening or afternoon. I know we're all in different time zones. But yeah, have a good rest of the day. Thank you.